In the JavaScript, there is a switch statement. So in Python, we don't have the switch statement, but in JavaScript, we have the switch statement. It means we have a variable and the variable should match with each of the case. So for example, the variable, if the variable equals to 1, then do something and break. If the variable equals to a, do something and then break. If the variable equals to 3.14, then do something and then break. And the default is this one. If none of this one is correct. Let's see. I'm using the code, this one, test 6. Let me make a new test switch. Okay, and then in the index.html, I will do this one, switch. Then let's see. So today is Wednesday. That's right. Okay. Okay, so today is Wednesday. How we can see this one? So the date, okay, by the date today, we want to check get day. So get day means a kind of integer number to indicate what is the day of today. If it is 0, then Sunday. If it is 1, Monday. If it is 2, Tuesday. If it is 3, Wednesday, and so on. So at the end, we want to alert the day. So if it is 0, then let's make the day as Sunday and then break. If the case is 1, then let's make the day as Monday and then break. So every of this statement should have break. If you don't have break, then it will continue. So the statement will continue to the next line. So that's why you need to have break. So if you break, it means if this one is correct, then okay, let's have the day equals Sunday. Break. It means we will go to the end of the switch. So if today is Wednesday, then finish, break, and then alert the day. Now let's say if I do not have the break, so I can put the comments with the slash like this one. If I don't have the break, what happened? Then today is Thursday. Okay? Because after I know the day is Wednesday, it goes to the next, even though this condition is not correct. So that's why whenever you use the switch, you need to have break. Let's do one more time. Then yeah, today is Wednesday. In the programming language, we always learn about loops. So loops in JavaScript, there are 3. So it is similar like C, it's also similar to Java. So the first is for loop, the second is while loop, and the other is do while loop. For loop means we have loop to indicate the starting point, the ending point, and then the counter or the increment. So if we still not reach the ending, if this one is the ending, if we still not reaching the ending, then we will do always the statement and then do the counter. We will do the statement and then counter. We will do the statement and then counter. So let's see if I have the test for what I have the test for JavaScript. And let me change to test for JavaScript. Zero, 1, 2, 3, 5, 4. That's question. Where is the 4? Okay. 0, 1, 2, 3, 5. So where is the 4? We have the starting point is 0. So we will alert 0. So we do the plus plus when the counter is less than 4. 0 is less than 4? Yes. So do plus plus. Counter plus plus means we will add by 1. So 0 plus 1. Now it becomes 1. Then we will do alert counter 1. So 1 less than 4? Yes. So we will again still do this one, yeah, 1, and then plus 1, 2. 2 is less than 4? Yes. Then we will print and then plus with 1. 3 is less than 4? Yes. Alert counter. So print and then plus by 1. Down 4. 4 is less than 4? No. Then we stop. We do not print. We exit from this one. And then check. While counter less than 5. So counter now is 4. Alert plus plus counter. So do you know what is the difference between counter plus plus and plus plus counter? Do you know the difference? Counter plus plus means we will do something based on the current number and then plus by 1. But plus plus counter means we will plus the value by 1 and then do something with the variable. So in this case, because we know that it is 4. So 4 is the current number in the counter. It is less than 5? Yes. So before you print in the alert, you will do the plus plus. So 4 will be added by 1. Now it becomes 5. And 5 will be printed in this alert. So that's why 4 does not appear. So you can see 4. If you change this, if you change this one to plus plus like this, then you have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's the difference between plus plus counter and counter plus plus. The other is just the same. Yeah, if you want to test while, so let's check test. Test while the JS. No, nothing. Oh, I think I need to put this one as G. Because if it is now number, then it is undefined. So you can see now is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Okay, so we need to put 0 for this one to make it run. And the test loops. Okay, so test loops. Now let's see what is the test loops. Why it is not working? Test loops to chess, test loops to chess. Hmm. This is correct. Hmm. Maybe I have to put this one as alert. Okay. I don't know why it is not working well on PR. So if you do with alert, text plus equal I, so it will be added for every of the text. So for example, yeah, if I run this, now it starts from 0 and then goes to 0 and 1, goes to 0, 1, 2, goes to 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have the text with the string stuck with empty and then I equals to 0. Now we will do something while I is less than 5. So alert means I want to show in the pop-up text plus equal to I. At the first time, text is nothing. I is start from 0. So we show 0. When I is plus plus, so I will be added by 1. Now I become 1. Now the text will be added with 1. So it becomes 0 and 1. And I plus plus become 2. Now alert will be text plus equal I. Then it means 0, 1, 2, and so on. Okay, until I equals to 5. So we can make functions with the JavaScript. So the function here, So the function we have the code structure means splitting code into parts. And when the data comes in, process and result, the results written. So for example, we have the function here. The function name is average. And we have three data, A, B, and C. So this is the parameters. And we have a new variable total. So total equals to A plus B plus C. And let's say I want to know the average. The average will be total divided by 3. So at the end, I'm going to write the average in the document. So the average will be the average from 2, 4, and 6. Okay, let's make the function test.js. Okay, let me change the file function test.js. Then let's run. So average is 4. Okay. So the function test here, we have A, B, C, and then there are 3 numbers. We will add those 3 numbers and then we will divide with 3. And then the numbers will be printed. So document.write means I will write the result in the web browser. So functions are not required to return a value. So we have the function arguments. It means we have something in between the brackets. And if we want to return, then we will have a variable to return. When calling a function, it is not obligatory to specify all of its arguments. The function has access to all the argument passed via argument array. So what does it mean? Let's see. Let me copy and paste this one. So I'm making another function s2. If you look at this one, there's a function sum, and then the function has no argument, nothing in the bracket. At first, we want to make a variable sum equals to 0, and then start from I equals to 0 until the arguments length. So what does it mean by the arguments length? Arguments means something that is in between the bracket. So if you don't specify this one, and if you have number like this, so they will consider this is as an array. And you can just call this as argument. And then we will check the arguments, the length means how many numbers do you have. So we have 3 numbers. Then for every of the arguments, we will do the summation. But before doing the summation, we will parse the value into integer. So parse the argument index I into integer and then do the summation. Parse into integer and then do summation. Parse into integer and do the summation until I is equal to the length. So if you run, so this is the function test2. So let me change this to function test2. So now the result is 7. You can change this one, function test2. Let's say I have 5, 6, 7, 8, like this one. So you can increase the number of data without worrying about the variable length, because it will be automatically considered as the length in this argument. So now the result is 33. So we don't have to provide the arguments in the function name. We just need to put everything here and then just make the argument. So the flexibility of this function make it complicated for us who are new on the programming language. Passing the value from Python to JavaScript. The data will be stored in the database and can be retrieved using Python. So there might be necessary to run algorithm or some measurement in the JavaScript due to the performance issue. So for example, if you have the data, but you want to let the users to run the program in their own computer. So this example shows a basic way to pass the data from Python, or we call this is from the backend, to the JavaScript via the HTML. So let's see. Now let's make a new function in the fuse.py. Okay, so in the fuse.py, in the parent before, I will make a new function, analysis. And I have the data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then let's make a new HTML file. It's analysis.html. And then I will put the data, that is the data from this function. And then let me create an HTML file, analysis.html. And I put this file into the folder templates. Let's make analysis.html. Okay. I hope you understand this by now. Function print. So I want to print the data. We have one argument. And when we call this one, the variable, my variable, is obtained from the get element by id my var. So we have the id my var, and I want to check what is the value from this one. And then I want to put it into the pop-up or column. In the body section, I would like to show the data. So you know how to show the data with the Django template. And then I would like to put the data into the variable. And the variable name here is my var, and it is hidden. So we do not need to show it into the web. So we will just use this variable to pass by the data. So the data here will be passed by to the JavaScript. Now let's look at the new path. Let's use the analysis. Let's go to the URLs and then let's make the new path, which is analysis. And then in the analysis, I would like to call the function analysis. Okay, so make sure that you call the function analysis. This is the function analysis. So I call the function analysis to run in the URL analysis. And I will do this one. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 means the data that I have from the backend. If I click the data test, now you can see the data appears in the JavaScript. So the data that appears in the alert in the JavaScript is from the ID my file. Now my question is, when we click the button, we will do the print and we will see my file. My file is the argument. So my file will go to this section. So that's the question. Is it necessary? Let's say if I delete them, if I remove this one, is there any problem? If I test, no problem. Okay, why? Because when we go here, when we are in this state, so we want to get the element by ID. So the ID is my file. It means we will directly call this my file and we will call the value. Even though we have this argument, but actually we have this statement to get the value. So we do not need to care with the argument in this function. Okay, the last section that I want to explain is how to debugging. Do you know debugging? We call it debug. Correct? Yeah, we call it, this one is debug. We call debug means we want to find something error in the programming. So in the PyCharm, you can have the debugging tools. So if you do this one, okay. So if you run this one, you have debug. Okay, debug. Debug means you can run step by step and then check where is the position, the errors in your code. So it is very important in the programming because whenever you do programming, there should be this kind of mechanism to check the errors. Modern browsers have JavaScript console where error in scripts are reported. Errors may differ across browsers. So if you do with Chrome, maybe the errors will be different when you do with Microsoft Edge. Maybe it will be different when you do with the Opera. So several tools to debug the JavaScript. For example, you can use the Microsoft Script Editor. So it is the add-on for the Android Explorer. There is a breakpoint watches. So whenever you click something, there is a watches. And also, yeah, there's a statement for debugger. In Chrome, I believe that you use Chrome. Most of you use Chrome, but if you do not use Chrome, maybe the browser that you use similar to Chrome. So you can edit the JavaScript in Leaf Editor. So that is what we call JavaScript editor. And it shows the result of running JavaScript, CSS, and HTML. So the Chrome can show you the JavaScript and jQuery code completion. And then it can show the code analysis and warnings. And it can be like hands-on learning environment. And the HTML DOM is refreshed automatically as you write the JavaScript. So like this one, you can write the JavaScript in HTML with the console statement. Let me just use this one. Let me put into the index. So I have the script console log 5 plus 6. So the console object exists only if there is a debugging tool that support it. So in the Chrome, you can use F12. So you can write the log message at runtime. So let's say I'm using this one. So I'm using the index, nothing. Why? Because we don't have anything to show in the HTML. And then if you go to the setting, what is it? I don't know. So let me press F12. Okay. So if you press the F12, you will see this debugging tool, or we call it, this is dev tools. Okay. And you can see elements, console, source, network, performance. Okay. So this kind of tools, it is to show the performance of your web page. For example, you just put the console 5 plus 6. The result is 11. So you can see the result 11 at the console. So it means if you have code, if you have anything that you want to share, okay, let's say, yeah, you want to know the variable var name equals to half. And then you want to put this one as the console, and I want to know what is the name. If you run this one now, the console will show you half according to what is inside the console. And using this way, using this one, it is one of the way to do the debugging. So you can see the error, you can see what is the problem in your code. Because when you do with the JavaScript, there is no error message, almost no error message in your Python. So that's why you need to know where is the error, and then if you cannot find the error, you need to use this kind of console to detect the errors. Okay, so you learn a lot of things. So the JavaScript, okay, what is the JavaScript? What is the syntax? And then you implement the JavaScript in the head, in the body, and also in the external file. And you learn about the operator, data type, control flow, functions, and also how to debug the JavaScript. Okay. Any questions?